Hello, this video will show how to dismantle a Samez 01D140 diaphragm pump. We'll start by showing the tools needed for this disassembly. You will need a 2.5, a 4, and a 5 millimeter Allen wrench, a cantilever clamp or similar, a 13 millimeter socket and wrench, a needle nose pliers, a snap ring plier, along with a pick and a flat blade screwdriver. We will begin by removing the bolts of one of the side plates using the 13 millimeter socket and wrench. Once the plate is removed, you can remove both the inlet and outlet ball and seat portion of the pump. There are directional arrows on each portion. The inlet is on the bottom of the pump. The outlet is on the top. Then grab the diaphragm assembly tightly and turn to unscrew from the shaft. There are O-rings on the plates for the inlet and outlet fluid flow. You can remove those with a pick. Now remove the second side plate, also using the 13 millimeter socket and wrench. Remember to use the crisscross method. Now there are two ways to unscrew the diaphragm. You cannot unscrew it easily like the first side, as the shaft is attached and will just spin. You will either have to remove the internal shuttle valve parts, which is the way we recommend, but if only the diaphragm needs replacing, you can use a cantilever or similar clamp to hold the shaft, then unscrew the diaphragm assembly, as shown here. The internal shaft will stay connected. Now continuing on with the full disassembly, you will need 5 millimeter Allen wrench to remove the 4 bolts on the underside plate. It is best to put the pump in a vise while performing the internal disassembly. You can use 2 screws to help lift the plate from the body. Once removed, you will see an underside gasket. This can be removed using the pick. You can also use the pick to remove the second intermediate plate. There is a gasket that sits on the shuttle valve ceramic plate. To remove the shuttle valve body assembly, you will use the 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench to unscrew and remove the 4 bolts. You can then use the pick to lift the ceramic plate. You can remove the gasket from the top, and there also is a seal that can be removed using the pick for the ceramic seal under portion. Then using a needle nose, you can remove the shuttle valve plastic block. Again, using the shuttle valve portion of the shaft, you can take a needle nose and lightly pull up, which will help remove the body of the shuttle valve. Then using a flat blade screwdriver to help pry one side of the shuttle valve cap and shaft. There are seals and O-rings on the cap and shaft that can be removed using the pick. Underneath there is another ceramic plate that can be removed using the pick. And underneath the body of the shuttle valve, there are some seals and gasket that can also be removed. Once the ceramic plate is removed, you can use the needle nose to lift up on the diaphragm shaft control bracket, and then again using the needle nose to pry and push down on the valve contact. It has a spring. You need to push that down. That will allow the shaft of the diaphragm to be removed. Then you can use a pick to pull up that contact and spring. And once that is removed, then you can use the pick to remove the exhaust port and pilot port O-rings. Now the body of the pump can be removed from the vise and laid on the table. Using a 4 millimeter Allen wrench, you can undo the 2 screws from the diaphragm shaft guide and seal. There's an O-ring in there, along with the plate on both sides. Those can be removed, exposing the 2 white sleeve bushings on the internal part. Those can be removed using a pick. They may be tight as they are a press fit, but they can be removed and replaced. Then, using the cantilever clamp or other style clamp, you will tighten on the shaft of the second diaphragm removed, and you can just unspin and remove the diaphragm assembly. Finally, there are the O-rings on the side plates for both inlet and outlet fluid flow. Those can be removed using the pick. Now for the last portion of the repair, we will remove the internal parts of the inlet and outlet ball and seat. You will use a snap ring pliers to remove the inlet's ball cage by pulling up from the inside, then removing the ball and spring, then using the pliers again to grab the inside seat, pulling that out, exposing the inner and outer O-rings that can be removed using the pick. There's an O-ring on the outside of the cage portion also. Then doing the same on the other side, insert the pliers, pull out the cage, spring and ball, and the internal seat. Then, once those are removed, you can take the O-rings out. Don't worry about damaging the O-rings, as we will be replacing them. The seats are directional. You must make sure that the concave area is facing the ball on both sides. Then for the outlet portion, you'll use the snap ring pliers again to lightly push down on the ball and grab the inner portion of the seat. This also has the two O-rings, inner and out. Remove the spring and ball. There is, on the outlet portion of the body, there is a cage portion that is molded to the body housing that is not removable. Then you will do the same to the other side, removing the seat, ball and spring. And this concludes the 01D140 disassembly.